Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the YouTube channel again. So, in this video, we are going to do something different over here. One of my YouTube subscriber and my LinkedIn connection asked me for a help regarding some project, right? So, what I thought that why not to make a video out of it? Okay. So, in this part, we are going to help him, and as well as we are going to show you some complex project inside of UiPath as well. Okay. I hope that many of you have done this project. If you haven't, this is the right video to start that project. Okay. So, भाई ये है UiPath Vijay. Let's get started. Okay, so let's quickly open the Chrome. I will be showing you that project. No, this is not this project. Okay, this is the invoice extraction, and we'll be using some modern practices, and we'll also be using document understanding to do this project. Let's quickly understand it in my own terms that what this project is comprising of. Okay, so you have to extract the invoices of only those items of which due date has been passed. Like for example, today's date is 12/3/2025, right? So for example, this is outside of our criteria because see, today date is 12/3/2025 and this date is not falling inside of our criteria. This is falling inside of our criteria. And if I'll go to the second page, this is as well, this is, this is, this is as well. We have only three pages over here. This is not, this is not, this is, and this is not. So what you have to do, you have to extract the invoice, you have to extract the due date, you have to extract the ID, and also inside the invoice, I'll quickly show you guys. This will be the invoice that will be you will be extracting, and inside the invoice you have to extract the let's quickly check. You have to extract invoice number, date, company name, and the total due. Okay, invoice number, invoice date, company name, and the total due. Okay, seems like this part and this part is the same. Okay, so it is given that we have two sample invoices, both are of different companies over here. Okay, but one is Anion LLC and the second one is Sit Emet Corp. So we'll be showing that how we can do it with the best practice, and we will be using over here as RE framework. Using the dispatcher and the performer model, we will be doing it. And also inside the performer, we will be using document understanding and some Gen AI activities as well. So we are like redesigning the project. You can also say that this will be invoice extraction 2.0. Okay, let's get started, guys. So one more second. In the end, you will have to download this specific example CSV. This is in CSV, so you will have to upload ID, due date, invoice number, invoice date, company name, total due in this format only. Okay, it won't be accepting in any other format. So let's get started, guys. So for that, I am quickly opening the studio, going over here. So I'll be like using the RE framework for that part. Okay, let's say REF because we're using RE framework, IE because it's the invoice extraction short form for that, and I'll say dispatcher. So this will be about populating the queue. Now what we'll be doing, we will be downloading the uh, all those invoices and putting their you can say URLs or exactly that ID. You can say ID and the due date inside of the queue. Okay, so we'll be like also using document understanding inside the performer as well. So I'll be like showing you everything. So I'll quickly copy this, paste this over here, and quickly create. Okay, so we are inside the RE framework. I have already upgraded my packages to the latest version inside of it. Okay, चलिए. सो अब यहाँ पे क्या होगा, देखिए यहाँ पे फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू open this part. Okay, we have to open this and we have to extract some data out of it. So I'm like making very small, or you can say atomic XAMLs, so that if I need it ahead I can reuse it. Okay, so I'll quickly go to new sequence and I'll write REFIE. I'll say opening app. Okay. So over here I'll be using use application browser just to open the application. Okay. You can see that I'm using the modern design over here, right? One more thing, if like anybody knows this, so it's good. If you don't, I'm telling you, in the modern design now, inside the latest update, now any you can say UI elements will be added up inside of your object repo. Right, to disable this, you have to go to the project settings, click on the UI automation modern, click on false, and it will be not adding automatically to the object repo now. See, it is being automatically added. If I don't need this, I'll just say delete. Okay, मैं इसको यहाँ पे delete कर सकता हूँ. I'll refresh it. You can see that I don't have any descriptors or any UI libraries over here. Okay, and for the best practice, I'll say properties, close, never. Open is always. Why? Because this will be opening for the first time, right? I'll just say log message. Okay, and I'll say application opened. Simple. So it is just like we are tracking it. Okay, we are just tracking it over here. Cool. Okay, so this is done. So this as I just said, I'm making very small XAMLs out of it. Next part, what we need to do, we need to extract this specific table. Okay, so now I'll click on the new sequence. I'll say ref ie. I'll say extract table. Okay, so I am extracting the table and extracting, and say extract filter table. So what I've done, I'm extracting and filtering table at in the same XAML. Okay, filtering for what? Filtering for the due date. Okay, that I just showed you. So I'll click on the table extraction. Over here it is. I'll just click on any ID. Okay, now let's see that what it is extracting. Would you like to extract all the columns from the table? Yes. So you saw that it extracted the hashtag. We don't need it. I'll just say SN number just for the serial number sort of thing. Okay, and okay, this for the third, right? I don't want it here. I want it at the first part just for showing purpose. We were over here, but we want it at the first part, right? Okay, so over here only we'll be starting our table extraction, right? So click on here. Yes, now you can see that what all the fields it is extracting. It is extracting the serial number, the ID, the due date that we need, the ID also we are needing it. Invoice, it is blank, and invoice URL. Why it is blank? Because it can't extract the image. And when you will be clicking over here, if you will be clicking it like this, I'll show you. Uh, right. If you will click on the small button, the arrow button. Okay. Yes. One second. Now you can see that we have a text and we have a URL. So it can't extract the text because it can't extract the text from this down button. That's why it was blank over here. Okay, we do only need the URL. That's why it is coming as the URL only over there. Okay, not the text. Right. So again, I'll just click over here. I hope this is very clear why it is not showing the invoice name, because that arrow has no name. Okay, that is self understood, guys. So I'll delete that and I'll rename it to S and number, and this due date also. Okay, this due date also, I'll just remove this space and hit invoice UR RL, so that when I filter it, it becomes very easy. Okay. Asset data for multiple pages. Yes, we are having multiple pages. So I'll click on next. Okay. And save and close. Cool. I'll quickly rename the table as DT because it's a data table, right? Now comes the tricky part, guys. Okay, now let's quickly check whether this specific DT is extracting correctly or not. So I'll keep it over here and I'll quickly run this specific XAML and I'll print the output inside the immediate panel. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's working. Hmm. Let's see inside the immediate panel. I'll write DT input. And you can see that we have all those 1, 2, 3, 4 till the 12 row. I think there are 12 only. 4 we have 4 into 3, 12. Yeah, cool. So it has successfully extracted all this. Okay, here is the catch, guys. If you will refresh it now, it will change its ID and change its period and change its invoice as well. So beware, don't refresh the page, or you have to make a logic when you are not refreshing the page, then only. Okay, close this. Cool. So we are good till here. Okay, and that specific opening app, that is very simple, that it is opening the app, no issues. Okay, so now I'll just say close never, open never. Why? Because it is being already opened by the opening app XAML. Okay, so now just to test it, I'll keep it the right line over here and I'll now debug the workflow. Okay, now let's see what we are trying to see over here. Let's see now. I don't know, sometimes the robot or the executor, it starts a little bit late or laggy. Sometimes it's very fast. Maybe it's a glitch. Okay, leave it. So I'll go to the immediate panel. I'll write the DT input. We can see that it's coming like this. Now we have to filter the data table and we will be using over here as LINQ query to filter the data table with the help of a due date. Okay, I'll tell each and every step, so guys pay very attention over here. Okay, okay, so I am writing DT input as enumerable because we are converting it into enumerators so that we can enumerate between those rows. Okay, where, okay, and I'll write function x x. Now x contains each and every row, each and every data row. This is x, 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 like that. Okay, it's very simple. Now what we need to find, we need to find the due date. Okay, so I'll be giving as column due date. You guys, you know that if we are having a row and we need the specific cell data, so we just have to provide that specific column. Okay, then we can get that cell data. Okay, so you can see the due date, it's there, where due date dot to string. I'll tell you that why I have converted it to string. तो भाई यहाँ पे मैंने string पे इसलिए convert किया है, I'll tell you, क्योंकि देखो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, कंपेयर कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे जो आपकी ड्यू डेट है ना, ये इट इज़ नॉट इनसाइड द date format, it is not inside the date format, so we are converting it into first date. So how we can do that? We can do it with the help of a date time dot parse exact method. Okay, so it will be requiring a string. ये हमारे पास string है, यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक we have the string. Okay, now when we have the string, it will be asking us for a format. What is the format of this specific date? It is having date dd, small dd. Okay, capital mm, not the small mm, it will be minutes. Okay, capital mm hyphen y. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे क्या है, मेरे डेट मंथ ईयर आ गया है, इसी फॉर्मेट में मेरे को लिखना है, इसी फॉर्मेट में. ओके, कॉमा कॉमा. ठीक है, नाउ इट विल बी we are going the I format provider system dot globalization dot culture info dot invariant culture. Now why I have used this format? Because it is the format of this. It will be asking for a I format provider. This is the I format provider over here. ठीक है, इन्वेरिएंट कल्चर में यहाँ पे लेते हैं, नॉट द इंस्टॉल्ड कल्चर, विल बी यूजिंग द इन्वेरिएंट कल्चर. ठीक है, ताकि ये कोई भी टाइम फ्रेम से इससे कोई इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ेगा. कूल. ठीक. अब यहाँ पे क्या है भाई, मेरे पास प्रॉपर डेट आ गई, बट ये पार्स एग्जैक्ट वाला ब्रैकेट बंद हुआ है. आई नीड टू क्लोज दिस वेयर ब्रैकेट एज वेल. ठीक है भाई, यहाँ लगाए तो मैं ऐसे करके वेयर ब्रैकेट. बट द मेन थिंग इज दैट वी हैव नॉट कंपेयर्ड इट. भाई वेयर विल बी गिविंग अ बूलियन एक्सप्रेशन. देखो वहाँ लिखा है ना, डेटा रो कॉमा बूलियन, तो आउटपुट मेरे बूलियन पे आएगा. बट फेल राइट कॉपी टू डेटा टेबल ओवर हेयर, बट आई नीड टू कंपेयर इट एज वेल. तो भाई मैं यहाँ लिखूंगा लेस देन इक्वल टू, बिकॉज सी this date, this date, this date will be less than your current date, then only it will be fulfilling our criteria. तभी वो उस criteria में आएगी. भाई मेरी ड्यू डेट पास हो चुकी है, निकल चुकी है ड्यू डेट आपकी. ओके, माई ड्यू डेट हैज़ बिन पास्ड, मतलब इट हैज़ पास, निकल गई है. ओके, निकल गई है मतलब ड्यू डेट पहले पास्ट में थी, तभी तो हो गए, राइट. इट विल बी लाइक दिस डेट टाइम डॉट पार्स एक्स, जो मेरा एक्सप्रेशन है, इट विल बी वर्किंग ओवर देयर. ओके, सो गाइज आई होप दैट यू हैव गॉट इट, दैट व्हाई वी हैव डन इट लाइक दिस. ठीक है, यहाँ तक आपको आई थिंक समझ में आया होगा दैट ये पूरा क्या हो रहा है. अब लेस देन इक्वल टू वी विल बी यूजिंग डेट टाइम डॉट नाउ. एंड नाउ इफ आई प्रेस दिस, so you can see that we have filtered the dates. आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पे जो मेरे पास जो भी dates हैं, it is less than this date. Follow my cursor guys, less than this date. 12-03-2025, it is less than this date only. We have a 7-3, but it is less than 12. Cool. So we have what? We have filtered the specific table over there. ठीक है, तो मैं अपनी उसको बंद करता हूँ, स्टॉप करता हूँ डीबग को. ठीक है, एंड नाउ आई जस्ट राइट एन असाइन ओवर हियर. ओके, आई राइट द होल क्वेरी अगेन. दिस टाइम आई क्विकली जूम इट, थोड़ा सा आपको अच्छे से दिखेगा. एज enumerable where, so we are filtering it inside a single assign. So this is the power of LINQ. And guys, my LINQ series will be going like live right after my ADP series has been completed. जैसे हम professional series complete करेंगे, my LINQ queries will be live. Okay, so please do keep an eye on my channel. There are a lot of surprises, lot of new series that will be popping out. ठीक है, चलो. So we'll be using function x. Now x is containing the data row. ठीक है, due date, एंड यहाँ पे आ जाएगा आपका date time dot parse exact, and this is the string comma. It is now asking for a format. Format is date month y comma system dot globalization dot culture info dot the invariant culture. Okay, not the installed UI culture, we want it to be invariant culture. Okay, not the installed culture. ठीक है, चलो. So now we will be comparing it with the date time dot now and closing the brackets, copying it back to the data table again. ठीक है, I'll quickly say save. Cool. And now here, यहाँ मैं क्या करूँ, मैं इसको सेम डाल दूंगा यहाँ पे, dt इनपुट को मैं यहाँ पे आई कैन पुश इट लाइक दिस. ठीक है, एंड नाउ आई जस्ट से fn, यहाँ मैं इसको क्विकली रीनेम इट. ठीक है, फिल्टर ड्यू डेट्स फ्रॉम द डेटा टेबल एंड आई डिलीट दिस राइट लाइन. इसका काम खत्म हो गया है. आई क्विकली कन्वर्ट इट टू एन आर्गुमेंट. ठीक है, एंड ओवर हियर आई से आउट underscore, as this is an out, so we'll have to change the direction also to the out part. ठीक है, and you have created a आर्गुमेंट ऑलवेज सेव योर वर्कफ्लो बिफोर यू आर एग्जिटिंग दैट स्पेसिफिक वर्कफ्लो, नहीं तो आपको वहाँ मिलेगा नहीं इन्वोक कोड पे, देन यू विल बी क्रिएटिंग एन आर्गुमेंट्स ओवर देयर बट दैट इज नॉट एडवाइजेबल। ठीक है, तो यहाँ मैंने क्या किया है, यहाँ मैं इसको भी रीनेम कर लेता हूँ, रीनेम इट एज वेल। ओके, एंड आई विल बी ओपनिंग माई config quickly, ठीक है, and I'll be taking the URL over here, ठीक है, मैं ये URL लूँगा and we'll be going to the consent sheets and I'll be pasting the specific URL over here. I'll say invoice extraction URL and this will be it. Same thing, I'll copy it, I'll paste it over there। ठीक है, अब मैं यहाँ जाऊँगा inside of this part and I'll just say in str invoice URL. So we have made a in string argument that will be holding the invoice URL value. Simple. ठीक है, hope this is very clear guys। तो यहाँ पे अब क्या हुआ, यहाँ पे मेरा इस str invoice URL की वैल्यू आएगी, तो I'll be saving it and by default your argument that you have created it will be inside of a in part in direction। ठीक है, अब मैं क्या करूँगा, I'll just say अभी ये बन गया मेरा, ठीक है, इट इज़ वर्किंग टोटली फाइन, सही चल रहा है। अब भाई ये हो चुका है, तो now I'll have to what, now I'll have to download the specific you can say invoice। अब मुझे invoice डाउनलोड करनी है, राइट, सो I'll go over here inside my flow and I'll say sequence ref ie, I'll say download invoice, simple। so I'll be now downloading the invoice over there। ठीक है, and ये part extract filter table download invoice, so it will be sorry, the download invoice one, not this part, this will be done inside the get transaction state। Download invoice and adding the item set inside the queue will be inside the process transaction state। Okay, so now how to guys download the invoice? Okay, now here is the tricky part, let's see। So let's see the timing, we have some time to, okay, so now we can see that we have to download the invoice। So over here inside the .NET we have a method called web client method, and that method is using a process called download file। ठीक है, so what I'll do, I'll use an invoke method activity over here, and guys what it will be doing now, it will be using a web client method to download the specific file from the URL। okay, you can see that this is the URL, right? If I'll click it, I'll say inspect, and you can see that, you can see, so you can see that this is a href। okay, and if I hover it, this is the URL, if I click on it, it will be opening this specific part। cool, so what I do, I use the href to download it, okay, but it should be done in a fashioned manner, right? So what I'll do, I'll say new web client and I'll do like this। ठीक है, इसको मैं वेब क्लाइंट बनाऊंगा कैसे, लेट्स सी, ब्राउज फॉर टाइप्स, I'll say web client and it is there, don't worry, it is there। okay, जैसे ही आप ये बनाएंगे ये ऑटोमेटिक एरर विल डिमिनिश, तो पहले ये बना लेना, देन यू कैन फाइंड द वेब क्लाइंट इनसाइड ऑफ इट, एंड फॉर दैट I'll say web web client like this। ठीक है, ये मैं यहाँ डालूंगा इनसाइड द टारगेट ऑब्जेक्ट दैट इज वेब क्लाइंट। द मेथड नेम दैट वी आर हैविंग इज डाउनलोड फाइल। ठीक है, वी आर हैविंग अ डाउनलोड फाइल मेथड। सो इफ यू विल बी राइटिंग दैट यू कैन से डाउनलोड फाइल वेब क्लाइंट, ठीक है, तो यहाँ आपको एक प्रॉपर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन मिलेगी वेब क्लाइंट मेथड की। यहाँ आप देख सकते हो क्या क्या उसको रिक्वायरमेंट है। ठीक है, मैं आपको बताता हूँ इन शॉर्ट। So if you'll go to the studio again, so what it is requiring, it is requiring two things. One will be the URL of that specific download link. Second will be the path including the file name. Okay, two things it require. URL, first thing is URL. Second thing, it will be requiring the specific file name in including the path with the file name. So how we can give it, देखो कैसे उसको दे सकते हैं. So now here I'll be using an assign activity just above it, and I'll say str underscore URL. तो भाई आप कहोगे URL तो मुझे मिला नहीं, आपने लिख दिया यहाँ पे, ये क्या बात हुई. तो ये कोई बात नहीं, मैं आपको बताता हूँ कैसे. तो यू मस्ट बी नोइंग दैट वी आर डीलिंग विद एन एक्सेल ओवर हेयर. ठीक है, हम एक्सेल के साथ यहाँ पे डील कर रहे हैं, और एक्सेल छोड़ो डेटा टेबल के साथ यहाँ पे डील कर रहे हैं. तो हमारा जो ट्रांजैक्शन आइटम होगा, और ट्रांजैक्शन आइटम विल बी ऑफ टाइप डेटा रो गाइस. ओके, प्लीज कीप इन माइंड our transaction item will be of type data row. Okay, so if our transaction item in underscore tran item, now I'm have created an argument. Argument will be of type data row. That is why I'm giving the specific column now of that type. So I'll say URL. ठीक है, जो मैंने वहां पे लिखा था वो यहाँ पे मैं लिखूंगा URL, and I'll say to string and save it. ठीक है, this tran item will be of type data row. For that I'll have to go over there, data row. Okay, system.data row it is. You can see the error got diminished. So we have the specific URL over here. Okay, and that URL I will be placing inside of the parameters section. Okay, I'll place it over here. यहाँ पे हम उसे place करेंगे. I'll just say str underscore URL. Cool. And for the part where I have to save it, I'll have to create a new folder. I'll say add folder. I'll say invoices. Okay, cool. And over here I'll open it. I'll take its path, simple. And over here inside the variables, what I'll do, I'll create a new variable called str out invoice folder. Invoice folder like this, and I will give the path over here. यहाँ मैं उसका पाथ दे दूंगा इनवॉइस का यहाँ पे, और आई कैन ऑल्सो सेव इट इनसाइड ऑफ अ कॉन्फिग जस्ट फॉर टेस्टिंग पर्पस. आई एम गिविंग इट ओवर हियर. ठीक है, यहाँ मैंने पाथ दे दिया. ओके, नाउ व्हाट आई हैव टू डू, अब देखो वो जो URL आ रहा है, ये जो URL आ रहा है ये वाला, ये अगर मैं इसको I'll just copy this, or I can click this over here, and now what I do, I want this 12.jpg over here. Okay, I want this 12.jpg over here. So what I can do, I can just say assign. Okay, and over here I'll be using a regex expression, regex. We don't have it. One more thing, if you're not getting any regex now, don't worry. You can get it through system.text.regular expressions. I use the short form, that's why I'm using it like this, system.text. System dot text dot regular expression, and you will click it. So it is being now over here. So now we can use only regex. Now अगर आप ऐसे लिखेंगे ना, यहाँ पे देखो इसको enlarge करते हैं. If you will be writing it like regex dot match, so it will be now available to you guys. ठीक है, अब input यहाँ पे क्या है, input है मेरा str underscore URL. ठीक है, एंड जो मेरा यहाँ पे पैटर्न होगा, तो वील बी यूजिंग अ पॉजिटिव लुक बिहाइंड मेथड ओवर हियर इनसाइड ऑफ द regex, and I will be extracting that specific one dot jpg as well. ठीक है, यहाँ पे हम लिखेंगे d because we are dealing with a integer. ठीक है, and then dot jpg, simple. इसको हम कर देंगे डॉट टू स्ट्रिंग के अंदर. कूल, दिस विल बी गिविंग मी द स्पेसिफिक URL. ठीक है, इसको हम टेस्ट भी कर लेते हैं. डोंट वरी, वी विल बी टेस्टिंग इट एज वेल. So I'll be writing regex r This is a very good site guys if you want to practice the regex as well, तो we'll be using it. इसको कॉपी कर रहे हैं, इसको मैं डाल रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, and we'll be using a positive look behind. ठीक है, so this thing is there, and now the, okay, and what we wrote dot jpg. Okay, looks good. Okay, so what I did, I just used a positive look behind. देखो भाई ये क्या करेगा, ये चेक करेगा ये स्लैश कहाँ पे है, स्लैश यहाँ पे भी है, लेकिन मैंने इसके बाद कुछ डाला है ना, मैंने इसके बाद डाला इंटीजर होना चाहिए प्लस, मतलब वन और मोर होना चाहिए, एंड वी हैव यूजिंग अ स्केप ऑपरेटर. The best part is that you can see what you are writing. It will be explaining you each and everything. Escape character EPG. It is now showing me like this. ठीक है, ये मेरा करेक्टर है, ये मुझे ये दे रहा है यहाँ पे अगर मैं देता हूँ आपका 1 भी आएगा, 100 भी आएगा लाइक दिस, बट आगे का कुछ भी नहीं आएगा. ठीक है, सो इट इज वर्किंग टोटली फाइन फॉर अस. क्लोज दिस, आई क्लोज दिस एज वेल. ठीक है, कूल. इसको हम कर देते हैं बंद. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे ये मेरा पार्ट है, इसको मैंने कर दिया है सेव, एंड आई जस्ट से अ न्यू वेरिएबल कॉल्ड str invoice नेम. वाई, देखो भाई दिया इनवॉइस नेम ही तो है ना, यहाँ पे इनवॉइस नेम हम एक्सट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं, हमने एक्सट्रैक्ट कर लिया, दिस इज द इनवॉइस नेम नाउ. कूल. सो let me quickly rename those activities. Now guys, we have the function of AI. So by यहाँ पे automatically using AI functions, it is renaming itself. Say bye bye to your a monotonous task of renaming those logs, messages and activities. Now it is automatically renaming itself. ठीक है, अब यहाँ ये मांग रहा है सेकंड आपका पैरामीटर्स के अंदर जाके. Now over here I'll go again for in arg. Okay, in argument is pushing the values inside of this method to make it work. Okay, so I'll just say thing. Okay, we had the invoice folder. Okay, cool. Invoice folder, str invoice folder plus, we have to give the slash as well, right? And I'll say str invoice name. Simple. Invoice folder plus invoice name, it will be giving us the whole path. Now it will be downloading the file for us over here. Okay, cool. So guys, for this project अभी के लिए इतना ही. ठीक है, for this video अभी के लिए इतना ही, because we have to make it in short parts, right? So we will be completing this project in parts, don't worry. Now we'll be doing this only. And okay, so this was a special request by a special subscriber, so I hope that you're watching this. I made this video only for you and for the community obviously. Okay, so guys, abhi ke liye itna hi. Happy automation, keep learning, keep supporting.